All right. What are we talking about today, man? Let me plug the joint right quick. Are you wasting money on free dates with women? Gentlemen, are you wasting money on free dates with women? Now, a lot of you, I'm sure, have been out on dates with women, spent a couple of chips, a couple of dollars, and for whatever reason, shit just wasn't clicking, right? For whatever reason, shit just wasn't clicking. Now, this is what I would tell you guys, right? Two things can be true at the same time. Two things can be true at the same time, right? We do know for a fact that there are some women, not all, some women who knowingly accept date offers from men they have no genuine interest in. More specifically, that they are not sexually attracted to, right? Now, I've been telling you guys that's on you, right? It's your job to ascertain whether or not that woman's interest for you or that woman's interest in you is indeed the same interest that you have in her, right? It's incumbent upon you to find that information out, right? So, again, two things can be true at the same time. There are some women, again, not all, who will knowingly accept date offers from men they have no interest in, knowing that those men are attracted to them, right? Conversely, there are women who are actually not only genuinely interested in men, right? But they are sexually attracted to these same men where they do indeed accept your date offer only to get on a date and realize you're the type of guy they shouldn't have sex with after all. That happens too. And for a lot of reasons that are unknown to me, guys who complain about women using men for dates seem to leave out that fact that there are many times where guys talk themselves out of sex, where guys do and or say things where the woman decides that she's better off not dealing with that guy, right? Are you wasting money on free dates with women? Now, I've said this as well, right? I've said this about a lot of guys. A lot of you guys listening right now, and just men overall, a lot of guys don't know how to date. You don't know how to date. And what I mean by that is this: societal norms, societal quote unquote standards, if you will, when it comes to how men are supposed to date women or interact with women that they're interested in dealing with, y'all should have been rid yourselves of how society says you should do shit. You should have been got rid of that dinosaur way of doing things, right? You should have been understood that societal ways or societal norms when it comes to dating that doesn't work for men. It might work for simps and tricks, right? Because simps and tricks behave in a way where society says men should conduct themselves for women, right? But if you're the type of guy where you don't believe in putting women on a pedestal, if you're the type of guy where you don't believe in just giving women shit because they're pretty, if you're the type of guy who understands that when you offer a woman a date that is not about her, it's about you, you understand that the way society says you should move isn't the way. So that means you got to move on your own accord. That means you got to make up your own dating rules. The problem with a lot of you guys, you have no belief in yourself. And that's why you continue to deal with women based on how society says you should deal with women. This is why most guys who deal with women who are in relationships with women, who have children with women, who are married with women or to women, right? These guys typically deal with women on the woman's terms. And when you deal with women on the woman's terms, you're moving in alignment with how society says you should do shit. Are you wasting money on free dates with women? Here's the thing. This is what guys need to understand. There's two ways, two ways you can get beyond this frame of thought that you're wasting money or that women are quote unquote using you, right? And technically speaking, a woman really can't use you if you offer the date. If you offer a woman a date and you don't make your intentions abundantly clear, not no, she should understand. I thought I implied what I no, 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 no. If you are sexually interested in that woman, if you desire to have sex with that woman, and you are mainly motivated to offer her a date for that purpose, don't it make sense? Doesn't it make sense to make sure that she sees it as you see it? If you're taking a woman out on a date with the expectation or primarily motivated with the thought that sex is going to happen, why wouldn't you share that thought with that woman to make sure she's on the same page? Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that? Right? Are you wasting money on free dates with women? Again, so there's two things that men can do to alleviate the frustration, the angst, the anxiousness, all of that. You either have to change your mindset or your approach. Zach, what do you mean by change your mindset or your approach? Well, when I say change your mindset, excuse me, when I say change your mindset, what I mean is simply this. You need to understand that the date is about you. It's not about the woman. The date is not about you trying to convince the woman that you're somebody she should be having sex with. That's not what the first date is for, right? If you're mainly motivated to do the date with the mindset that you believe you have to do the date to get to the sex, you might as well just find you a sex worker, right? Guys, if you want to guarantee sex, listen to me. I have a PSA for all you guys who just don't get it. If you want to guarantee that sex occurs as a result of you spending money, the most efficient and proficient way to do that is to negotiate sex with a sex worker. You idiots are out here trying to deal with women, right? And you're trying to treat them like sex workers. Yeah, you might not look at it like that, but that's what you're trying to do because you're spending money on these dates and you're trying to obligate women to have sex or you feel entitled to sex because you spend a couple of dollars. If that's the case, why not get with a sex worker where it's understood? Yo, I'm about to spend X amount of dollars. I'm about to give you X amount of dollars. We gonna have sex, right? It's understood that that's going to be the transaction, right? Why not do that? Or you can change your mindset and you can understand that when you go on a date, that it's not a guarantee that sex is going to happen. And you need to be okay with that. This is how you know you're dating wrong. And I've said this. This is how you know you're dating wrong. While you're on a date with a woman, either during the date, towards the end of the date, or at the very end, if you are angry or frustrated that you ain't getting no pussy, or if the woman reveals to you that she doesn't desire you in that fashion and you find yourself getting upset, that's how you know you're dating wrong. You should never be angry after a date. If the woman showed up on time, if she showed up on time and she was respectful, why are you mad? A woman is allowed to go out on a date with you, right? She's allowed to go out on a date with you, converse with you for a little while, and then ultimately make up her mind whether or not you're the type of guy she might want to have sex with. And if she decides you're not, don't be mad at her. And I want guys to understand this, right? I want guys to understand this. When you approach a woman and you offer a date and your plan is to have sex, is that her plan? Is that her plan? A lot of you guys, y'all go out on dates with women, and the woman's reason for being there is different than your reason. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is it that you did not make sure that you and that woman was on the same page? You're there for sex. She's there for a free meal. Whose fault is that? See, she doesn't have to be on the same page as you. You're the one offering a date. She's showing up, right? She's being either entertained or treated to a nice evening on your dime. All she got to do is show up looking cute. She don't got to be there for the same reason you're there. But you need to make sure that she's there for the same reason you're there. If you feel some type of way about being used for dates, wouldn't it make sense? Wouldn't it behoove you to make sure? So either change your mindset and understand that if you're offering dates and you spend money and nothing comes of it, and you and that woman ultimately never get together, that's just the cost of doing business, right? Or change your approach. Zach, what do you mean by change your approach? Why don't you do yourself a favor? Why don't you make sure during that first interaction or that very first conversation, assuming you meet that woman face to face, why don't you make sure that she is sexually attracted to you before you offer the date? You guys do know that that's an option. That option has always been there for you. But that's not what y'all want to do because y'all scary. Y'all scary. See, dudes are scared, right? You're scared to be straight up with women. You go out on a date, right? Expecting a woman to understand what it is you're trying to do, but yet you were too scared to tell her what you're trying to do. So she's supposed to guess. Change your mindset or change your approach. Either understand that offering dates, right? Whether you're doing free dates and you're expending, time, energy, and effort, or whether or not you're actually spending a couple of chips and you're expending time, energy, and effort and a couple of dollars, right? If you don't want to feel like you're being used, why don't you make sure that woman understands exactly what's on your mind? Are you wasting money on free dates with women? Guys, it's not a woman's job to save you from yourself. Stop expecting women to tell you the truth about the fact that they don't want to fuck you when you are too scared to tell them the truth that the only reason you're even offering the date is so you can try and fuck them. How silly. How silly are men, right? You go out on a date, right, under false pretenses, right? The woman doesn't really know exactly what you want because you failed to make it clear, but yet you want her to fuck you, but yet you didn't make it clear, and then you get mad at her when you didn't make it clear, right? If you want a woman to be honest with you, be honest with her, right? If you want to know the truth, broach the topic of sex and see how women respond to it. Broach the topic of sex and see how a woman responds to it. Her response will tell you everything you need to know. Stop being scared. When you feel like you wasted your time or your money, it was you, it wasn't the woman. Stop being scared. If you want to keep your money in your pocket and you want to save your time, tell women the truth about what you really want.